Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tashwita Gupta, your ACCA mentor. So today I'm going to talk about a very important question that I usually get that ma'am, we are not able to write the answers. So all of you know that I'm teaching SBR currently at WIFI, but you know that I'm teaching SBR, right? So that's my forte in the professional papers. So the point is that if you are giving an exam like SBR, which is a professional level paper, which carries professional marks also, and you are done with the concept, still you feel like there's a gap. What I know versus what I have to write in the exam is quite different, or it's quite difficult to, get adapted to the kit or to the past papers. So even though I've completed the syllabus, even though I've completed all the standards, whether it is SBR, audit, whichever exam you're giving, you're done with the syllabus, still you feel like that there is something pending. There is something which is making me stop from writing correct answers which match the level of the examiner. So if this is something which you are going through, I'm sure this video will help you. So guys, while writing the answers, I want you to know first thing, whichever exam you are preparing, literally whichever exam in professional paper, either in the skill level also, if you think that you can match the level of the kit, if you've just covered the syllabus and even if you've practiced it once and you feel like now when I do the questions, now when I do the mock, now when I write the assignments, I will be same as the examiner. That's the biggest, you can say, that's the biggest mirage that you can't achieve it. It's not achievable and it's not required. Because what examiner writes, for example, a question is for 4 marks, the examiner is going to write for something worth of 12 marks for that question. Why? Because he's the examiner, no? That's Kaplan, that's DPP. They are going to write more, they have more knowledge, but you, for a matter of fact, have limited knowledge, right? You just had 3 months, you've studied whatever you could. So you can't expect yourself to write perfect answers like kit answers or past paper answers. So first of all, get acquainted with that fact that there will be a lag. There will always be a difference. I can never match the level of the depth that they cover in that answer, the various points that they cover in the answers of the examiner. I mean, even I can't. If I'm teaching SBR and if there's a question for 4 marks, you look at the back of the kit, they would write paragraphs for 4 marks. And if you ask me as a tutor, my approach is for my SBR students, 4 marks means 4 relevant points. So you just put 4 bullet points. As and when those 4 points are exhausted, you're done with it. So you have to be striking a balance, no? You can't always seek perfection in your answers because your exam is time pressured. So you have to strike a balance between perfection and managing the time also. So if I go with perfection, then maybe I'll be able to complete only 2 questions in the whole 3 hours. So are you getting my point? That please don't run behind the perfection and don't lose on the easy marks available. Now, these easy marks, for example, since I'm teaching SBR, so let me take an example of SBR only. Let's suppose they've given that company A issued class B shares. This is the feature of that share, that it will be redeemed after 4 years, etc. And the requirement asks whether class B shares should be classified as equity or liability. This is for 4 marks. Now, when I see this question, my mind should first go on the marks. 4 marks, that means I don't need to bang my head a lot. I don't need big paragraphs. I just need 4 relevant points. So I'll put 4 bullet points, unless that question carries professional marks. So if in SBR, that's the approach we follow. Your tutor for your particular subject will tell you your approach. In SBR, if there is professional marks available, I always suggest students to write in paragraph form, give headings also. Whereas if there are no professional marks, like in question number 3, there is no professional marks. Question number 1 also, there is no professional mark. So you can follow pointer approach. So I will make 4 points now. First, I will define equity as per the relevant standard. Then I will define liability as per its relevant standard. 2 easy marks in my pocket. Out of 4, 2 marks in your pocket and you've not even read the question, the case study. You don't know what are Class B shares. That's how easy it is to pass. It's just that you need active mind and a right approach. So I will just write what is equity as per the standard. So that's important that you know the standard language. Then you write liability as per the standard. Now you will relate it to Class B shares. Third point. So go to the case study, list down what are the features of Class B shares directly from the case study. You can even copy paste in CBE exam. You can say, okay, these shares are redeemable. So redeemable means that I have a liability to pay them off. I have the liability of repayment, and shares, equities feature is that you don't have any liability or you don't have any compulsion, not even for the dividends. So we will say, since there is a contractual obligation that I am going to repay the amount, henceforth it is a liability, classified as a liability. Then you can talk about the accounting treatment of the liability. How do you deal with it under the relevant standard? So you pick up the keywords from the requirement, you explain the keywords, that's how you get your easy marks. Even if your application goes wrong, let's suppose a student concluded that Class B shares are equity and that application part is wrong, but the definition part is correct, no? So you will get your marks based upon your definition. You guys have defined equity, you guys have defined liability, 1 mark for one relevant point. Then your application and then your conclusion. So this is how you answer your questions in professional papers. Get easy marks, don't bang your head a lot, explain the keywords and get done with it. Then another point that I want to refer to here is that don't try to write a lot about a standard. Especially in SBR, what happens is, like I said, you talk about equity. Some people, they know that, okay, equity is in this standard, they'll explain the whole standard. No, that is overwriting. Even that is bad, dangerous. Examiner won't mark you. You'll have a bad impression in front of him. Thirdly, you'll waste your time. So you have to find out. It's just like, just think like a Google map. So Google map, we have all the continents there. So we first pinpoint the location we want to go. So first I say, okay, I want to go to India. So Google map will take me to Asia. In Asia, it will take me to India. Then in India, it will take me to whichever location I've pinned that city. And then from that city to that street to that locality. So that's how the Google map maximizes your view. Similarly, you have to identify that in this particular question, which standard is being referred to? Is that standard related to this IFRS 9? If IFRS 9, then which part of IFRS 9? There are so many parts of IFRS 9. Exactly which part? So I have to identify that and explain that. You have to not explain the whole standard. So with example of SBR, for all professional level papers, I've given you one guidance that please be specific. Don't overwrite, don't create your own stories. Be specific. What is asked in the case study, you explain that only. To the point. So my strategy becomes specifically for SBR. I'm going to identify the standard. I will state the standard. Okay. Then I am going to apply the standard. So first state the standard and then apply it. That's how you solve any question given to you. So if you follow this approach, now you know that in the till date, whatever concepts you've covered, you just know the standard. You just know the concept. This application part will come with practice. And this strategy which I'm talking about, this will also you'll be able to apply with practice only. So try to type some answers, write some answers, get some guidance. Am I writing it correct? Okay. And don't try to copy the answers from the examiner because that's something which is unachievable and is not required. It's too much. We have to write realistic answers. So that's my guidance for all my students who are preparing for December attempt. And if you have any further questions, you know how to contact me. The link is in the description box. And be part of my WhatsApp community. We'll be soon starting with our 8-day revision plan, like that WhatsApp voice note revisions that we do. So we'll be starting them very soon. So make sure you are in contact with me over WhatsApp, my Instagram, and my LinkedIn. So thank you for watching it till here. All the very best. Take care and thanks for watching once again.